Everybody, welcome to our panel of startups and Google Cloud products. We're really excited to be here. We are 3 different startups. We're going to share our experience with Google Cloud Platform products. We have been selected by, we have been put together, but this guy, Andres is not going to be here. He's the person from Google that he made all of this possible. He couldn't be here because he has to be in Madrid at this time. We are Ignacio Zafra, Raúl Otalea, and Nacho Coloma. We're going to be talking about cloud platform products for the next 45 minutes. And it's hard to start talking about this. Google, for the last 15 years, have been putting together their own infrastructure for their own interests. Google has the biggest number of engineers together in a single company in the world, and they have a lot of different products under the same umbrella. They have YouTube, they have Gmail, they have Google Search, and all of these are different products that we know. All of these products are solving the same problem in a different way. At some point, Google put all these products together, and they tried to say, guys, let's make the same solution work for everyone. And that's the moment where Google started providing cloud services for the rest of the world. We're familiar with Google as a product company. We are starting to see Google as a services provider in the world. One note aside, if you're going to make a data center and you can put stormtroopers inside, I mean, come on. When we're talking about the scale, from the Google perspective, these are numbers that is, what's the word? Normal working hours for Google. This is the normal stuff. This is not peak numbers. So for Google, having 100 hours of YouTube video uploaded per minute, that's a standard. That's not a peak time. So they have solved all these scaling problems, all these performance problems, and they are making the same infrastructure available for the world. Meaning that when you are developing your application, you can deploy it on the same servers that Google are using for their own products. When we're talking about startups, I mean, come on, guys, how many of you come from a startup right now? How many of you have a startup at home waiting when you come back? How many of you have, I don't know, $19 billion waiting in your bank account? Because typically, as startups, we're understaffed and we work overtime. We have to make a lot of things by ourselves. And if you're going to do all this crazy amount of stuff, the more you can get out of your system, the better. You can be the guy that handles hard disk drive failures or network drives or network cards failing, but if you can ask another company to do that for you, that's always going to make your life easier in the long run. So if we're talking, for example, about infrastructure as a service, that's the typical way of thinking about cloud computing these days, where you are going to ask for the provider, hey, just give me a hardware that never fails. Give me a disk drive that is going to never fail. There is another way of thinking about cloud computing. It's also platform as a service, where you're going to ask for services that never fail. Like, my mail is always going to work, my data store is always going to be up. It's never going to fail. It doesn't matter if the whole of Europe goes out on fire, we're still going to be online. When we're talking about platform as a service, that is the first product that the Google Cloud Platform brought out, we're going to talk about App Engine. App Engine is the platform, is a platform as a service product that uses the whole of Google services, put them together, and let your application communicate with these services. That's what Nubius does. Ignacio, can you talk us a little bit about Nubius?
Hello. Yes, Nubius is a cloud computing software for lawyers. that lets the law firm manage their cases, their customers, their billing, their time, and it works in the web. It also works in a mobile phone, okay, and lets the lawyers focus on their practice, and only they pay an amount of money for the service, okay, for the software.
How did you start with Nubius? I mean, when you started, what were your main concerns? How did you get, the first weeks of Nubius online?
Well, our first concern is that we don't have a lot of money, like all the startups, okay? So we decided our first choice was Google App Engine. It was nearly 3 years ago. Google App Engine was beginning in that time. It gave us a platform without investing in servers, okay? So we'll save a lot of money because we don't have to pay for servers, okay? And also we also don't have a lot of people like startups. So our system team is the Google team, okay?
So you mean that you don't have anyone at all at Nubius verifying that the server is online or anything is down?
Nubius staff is marketing people and programmers people only.
Okay. So you focus on delivering new features,
yes,
not
and the design
not
and the delivery of the product, of the service.
How many users does Nubius have?
We have around 100 of users, okay? Our customers are law firms, okay? At this moment, we are not focused on solo lawyers, only law firms, and we have our hundreds of users, okay?
Mm-hmm. So, when you're deploying to App Engine, what are the features that you like most about App Engine? What are the features that you say, hey, this is a lifesaver for me? This is the feature that I love most about App Engine.
The things I love most is the directory is we can go back only one click, okay? If there is a problem, quickly we can go to the previous version, okay?
Okay, so for people that are not familiar with App Engine, if you're deploying a new application, you just upload your application on,
yes.
And if you want to roll back, if something goes wrong, you just select the version of your application that you want to have deployed,
yes.
and that's it?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
And also this lets you, for example, also testing new functionalities with TSAB. We have made sometimes, but not more than necessary. But it also gives this functionality, okay?
Okay. One of these things about platform as a service is that you can develop applications the Google way. You can just integrate services together, put together with your application, just call, I want a little bit of, I don't know, task queues, or I want mail service, whatever, and then deploy your application. But that also includes some requirements. Your application has some limitations, so to speak. You have to fit in the Google way of doing things.
Well, when you are working on a platform, you have to follow the requirements of the platform. That means that if we want to go to another cloud, we have to change things, okay? But I think this is not a problem, because when you bet for a platform, you think you are going to work a long time with them. So these constraints are indeed not appearing every day, okay? It will appear if you think to change to another provider.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, when you are working with App Engine,
yeah.
in the end of the month, your bill, when you're getting your bill at home and you're checking out, okay, what did I spend money this month? That is typically what most startups are worried about. What are your main concerns? In your bill, what are the top 3 items in that bill?
Well, the first is support, because it's a fee, okay? So.
But it's a fixed fee, right?
It's a fixed fee, okay?
Oh, okay.
And after comes the CPU time, okay? And also the storage, okay? But it's cheaper than if you have one server, okay? But you have first-class server with Google Cloud Platform, and also you have first-class engineers. You have a problem, quickly you find a solution, or you don't know how to do something, they help you, okay? Because they don't only help you in the case there is a problem. Also they help you they are experts, and you you don't know how to do something, they help you, okay?
We're talking about your system is always going to be on, that's the ideal situation.
Yeah.
How much downtime did you have using Google App Engine during the last years?
In the 1 hour, okay?
1 hour in how
How
3
long?
years? In 3 years.
Okay.
Okay, that's really nice.
But it's 1 hour that the platform was not down. It was very slow only. Okay.
Okay, so it never stopped working. It was only a matter of downgraded performance,
Yes.
and that's it. For how long have you been using App Engine then? 3 years already.
Counting the development time, yes, 3 years.
So in the beginning, it was the same as it is today, or was it more?
In the beginning, as it was in the beginnings of Google App Engine, for example, there was no support, like now. So you have to find Google search and Stack Overflow to solve the problems. And this now is very valuable, okay, the support help, okay. And also, of course, as other cloud platforms evolve with new functionalities, okay. Now we have search, we have cloud endpoints, for example, to develop a mobile application with a backend. You have
the login service as well, the
login
user
service. You have the backstage. What is the name of the backend?
The backend.
Okay. You can create an application that runs like a server in your office. Okay. Not like a web server. Okay.
Okay. So if we're talking about App Engine, we're talking typically about two different computing environments for your application. You can think about App Engine, that is the typical first Google Cloud product that was released. But you also have Compute Engine, would be the typical infrastructure as a service environment. And this is where we're seeing WIMI 5 working on here. This is where we're seeing WIMI 5 working these days. I mean, Raúl, can you tell us a little bit about you and WIMI 5?
Sure. Hello, everybody. WIMI 5 is a cloud platform to create, publish, and monetize casual games. So we have two different clients. For developers, we are providing an editor, and with this editor, they can create from scratch a game. They can publish it just clicking one button. And we are publishing this game in our marketplace and also in other marketplaces. And the second customer are players that consume these free-to-play games. And this is, in summary, this is an ecosystem for developers and players. The developers create games easily, and the players play through these games.
So when you were preparing WIMI 5 to get it released, and you were choosing your platform, you were using your cloud provider, you chose Google Compute Engine. Why was that? What were the reasons you decided to go with them?
Okay, in terms of from a technological point of view, I think that Compute Engine is really fast. We can create and destroy virtual machines really fast. It is really reliable. You never lose any data. It is flexible so that we can program our own scaling strategy.
You don't have limitations like you would have with Google App Engine.
Exactly.
You just deliver whatever you want to deploy.
You have all the freedom to create whatever you want there. And they charge in minutes. This is also cool for us. And from a philosophical point of view, we are really comfortable collaborating with Google because I feel that they are really close to startup needs. So the support is really cool, and they offer us a free ticket to test their platform. So we feel comfortable. We have a free option to test our platform there. And the Compute Engine works really well. So for us was really easy to decide the Compute Engine.
How many users do you have at WIMI 5 these days?
Okay, WIMI 5 is only 2 months old. So in these almost 2 months, we started in January. We have 300 developers testing our editor.
That's developers. We're talking not about users of games, we're talking about
not
developers.
Only developers. No,
Okay.
we are now in private beta, so we are inviting developers to test our editor. Yeah.
So with 300 developers, if you experience a peak of requests and you have to add a new node, how are you adding a new node? How long does it take to be added to your cluster? How does that process come?
Okay, our goal is to scale in automatic way. I mean, now currently we are creating nodes manually because we are in private beta, we are changing a lot of things now. But about how long, I think, I don't know the exact number, but it's a matter of 10 seconds, between 10 and 15 seconds, really fast.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. And how much people are in your team? How big is your team? How big is your systems department?
Okay, we are now 8 people, and we don't have a full-time person focused on systems, but there is a person playing 2 roles. It's a backend developer and also dealing with the compute engine, but it's just a certain role.
So you have a single person that is doing at the same time
2 things, yeah.
Okay. And what was your biggest hiccup with this process? I mean, how about if you have to migrate to another region? Is the process easy? If you have to get all your servers and take all of them from Europe to the US, for example, how does the process go?
Indeed, we did it last week, and it was a piece of cake. Just to access to the dashboard, and just with 20 clicks, you are able to pass everything from Europe to the US. So this is really easy to do. Yeah.
If you had to pick up a favorite feature in Google Compute Engine, what would it be? What would be the thing that for you is most life-saving, so to speak?
Okay, I think that flexibility is a really good point, but I like especially the load balancing functionality, because in the very beginning of the architecture design, we decided to create our own load balancing solution, because in that time we had a private cloud, and we had several experiments with this. But now with Compute Engine, load balancing is just accessing to the dashboard and clicking in the load balancing section, and you have to create only a pool of virtual machines, a set of rules, and that's all. So it's just in minutes you can have a complete solution of load balancing from scratch. Yeah,
this is one of the things that I love about the platform personally, that you don't have to code everything. Sometimes you can just point and click. That is quite awesome. If we're talking about storage, because we have been talking about computing capabilities, if we're talking about storage, you have 3 different options. And the typical thing would be to use the Cloud Data Store, which is a NoSQL storage that comes with Google App Engine, and you can grow as much as you need to. But you also have another 2 options. You have Cloud SQL, which is quite awesome actually. With Cloud SQL, you just have a MySQL storage that is working as a cluster with infinite possibilities of growth and handling load without any need of configuring things yourself. You just point and click. You just configure, okay, I need a SQL data store, and I just want it to be up. It's going to be a MySQL database. You can connect with your own applications. You can just manage it the same way as you would with any other database. But you don't have to worry about how to configure a cluster of servers, which is quite awesome. The other feature that we're using is Google Cloud Storage. I come from a small startup that is selling tickets for events like Eventbrite or Amiando. And one of these things, one of the features that we need is to have a customized background for every event. This is a big file. This is something like a couple of Ks minimum, and we needed a storage to put this here. Google has a product that is equivalent to Amazon S3, so to get a point of comparison, where you can just upload files as big as you want. They can be uploaded extremely fast, and then you can play with those. One of the features that Google Cloud has that is quite impressive is that you can cache these files automatically, and it's not going to cost you anything. It's called Google Edge Cache, and any file that you are serving from your servers are going to be cached automatically, transparently by their servers. So the first user that is asking for this image is going to get it from Google Cloud Storage. The second and third and fourth are going to be getting the cached version. That's quite awesome. That's one of the things that we really loved about it. Also the possibility of uploading it directly, using directly the Google infrastructure, which is extremely fast, extremely reliable. So usually an upload of a file almost never fails. That's also quite great. These are the typical products that are part of Google Cloud that we thought would be most useful for other startups, the same way that as they were for us. I mean, we're small companies. We need something that is cheap to get working on. We need something that is reliable, and we need something that can scale. No matter how much we need, it can scale with us. So these are the products that we use for computing, App Engine and Compute Engine, for storage, Google Cloud Storage and Google Cloud SQL, and the Google Cloud Data Store. And there are other services that are not as useful for startups, except Cloud Endpoints. That is great if you are developing mobile applications, but we personally didn't have so much use for this so far. So guys, questions. Who has any question that wants to know about Google Cloud products? No questions at all? Yeah.
Apps, do you have any advice for those of us that are in the process of trying to get integrated in Google Add-on Store? Or are you in Google Drive Store?
Did you get it?
Integrate Google Apps API in Nubius. It's quite easy with Google App Engine because you have when the user logons, you get the Google user, and you can make also very easily the connection with the API.
Google has 80 APIs that you can integrate, and it's always using OAuth to do the authorization, and sometimes you can authorize as a user, and sometimes you can authorize as your own system. And everything is automatic. Once you have done that with a single API, all the other APIs are the same. So Google Maps, Google Gmail, Google Calendar, everything works out exactly the same.
Okay, and do you have any experience with the add-on or Google Drive Store? The
add-ons, add-ons from the Google App Store? Not me. Did you use any?
Google Chrome Web Store.
No, the add-ons. The Google App Store.
Google App Store. No.
Not really. Sorry.
Thank you.
But it's the same API, okay?